So 15 straight wins now for the Boston Celtics, who are 4 shy of tying the franchise record.
Jalen, first of all, I just want to ask how you're doing.
I'm trying to hang in there. I'm doing all right. Just trying to play some basketball, keep my mind off everything, just try to come out here and get some wins.
Put up a career high tonight following a monster performance against the Warriors. Did that game show you that you can play with some of the best in the world?
No, I think I just always had that confidence. I know I could play with the best in the world. It's just a matter of coming out, doing it. My teammates finding me tonight. You know, we had a good team win tonight. Even though we didn't play the way we kind of wanted to from start, you know, one of those games we just got to gut out.
A remarkable performance from Brown in back-to-back games, considering the circumstances. You can sort of hear it in his voice. His mind is elsewhere. But just in terms of what he did on the floor, growth every single time he goes out there.
Without a doubt. And, you know, you thought early on Tatum was more the offensive player. Brown was more the high-energy defensive player. But he does it all. And putting him in that backcourt, he's shooting the ball with confidence. He was taking the ball to the hole strong. The team was finding him, and he was making plays. Obviously, growing up here in Atlanta, wanted to probably play well, but his talent, his potential, what he brings to the table, his size, and he defends. I mean, Boston's going to be good for a long, long time. And, you know, and a lot of these teams right now in the East, the Hawks included, who are sort of preparing for the future, you're not preparing for the Cavs. You're preparing for the Boston Celtics, because they will be good for a long, long time.
It's interesting, Brad Stevens is saying that the win streak is not necessarily indicative of how good they are right now. Well, how good can they be then?
Well, they can be a lot better, because right now they're living off their defense. Their defense shows up every night. Offensively, sometimes it's here and there, and so that's what Brad Stevens sees. He sees sometimes the ball gets stagnant, sometimes there's not as much movement, not as much execution. But when you mix that offense in with what they have defensively, when they start playing well on that end of the ball consistently, that is when you'll start seeing this team take steps towards being a championship-level team. And no one thought they would be here, especially after the injury to Gordon Hayward. Guys like Tatum, Brown have really stepped up, especially Brown. You talked a lot about him. I just love the fact that his three-point shot has just come a long way. In college, this guy shot under 30% from three. Now he's shooting 40% from three in the NBA. That speaks to his work. That speaks to his work ethic and how much time he put in the summer. They needed it this year, and that's why he's ready to step up.
If I say Boston Celtics, you immediately think of NBA history, because so much NBA history goes through Boston. Well, they are creeping up now on one of the all-time win streaks in franchise history. In fact, now just 4 wins away from tying that 19-game win streak from the 08-09 team. And here's the schedule ahead. They finish out this road trip with a couple of other sub-500 teams, Dallas and Miami. They come back Friday to Orlando. And then a win in Indiana, if they win those 3, would tie them with that 08-09 team. Can they get it done?
I think they can get it done. I think they can tie. Detroit will be a tough matchup. Detroit's playing good basketball, but you know, this team is just locked in. They're a team of character. You know, some teams have characters. They have character. They have a great culture. You can see it. They're playing for one another. They trust one another. And it's surprising, because you do have the young, talented guys, Tatum and Brown, who are really stepping up. You have a new player in Kyrie Irving. You know, but they really seem to just get along and have great chemistry, which is hard to find in an NBA team. So, you know, the teams, those first 4 opponents, they should win those games. Obviously, they don't want to get complacent. And as they're probably going to be aware of that record and going to want to set it. But Detroit will be a tough game for them. And, you know, but I think ultimately they'll break the record.
You're looking at the Detroit game. I see a young team. Where's that Miami game being played?
At the South Florida.
In Miami?
Yeah.
Grant, you know, South Beach is undefeated. So you get a young team out there in South Beach.
What night they playing?
Yeah, it definitely depends on what night it is. I hope it's not a Sunday. Is Lim still popping? All I'm saying is that, you know, that Miami plays hard.
Yeah,
they have a certain way they like to play defensively. They're going to compete. Dion Waiters playing great basketball for that team. That could be the type of game that if a young team goes out and has too much fun in South Beach, you could come in and be a little bit slow the next
Sounds
day.
like you've learned that from experience.
No, not me. Not
okay,
me.
No, being around the league.
No, I was always in my room studying film.
I like how you factored in all angles in terms of the schedule, though, when considering where this win streak.
Hey, you really have to pay attention to stuff like that.
You do.